Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the SWUS NFL Week 1, first football Sunday of the year. Real quick announcement, if you're getting in on the Against the Spread contest, the giveaway, giving something away every week. Week 1 is a signed Keenan Allen helmet. If you're interested in getting in on that, head over to Kirms.com. All the details are right on the homepage. We got a cool matchup in this video. We're talking Dolphins, Chargers. Miami's out in LA on the road. Line opens up, Chargers laying 2.5. Total opens up at 51. Let's go.
Welcome to the SWUS. The SWUS. SWUS. Hey, get the SWUS.
So like I said, this line opened up at 2.5, but it's actually at 3 now, and it's been at 3 this whole week. Public's on the Dolphins here, both the tickets and the handle decisively on Miami. And it looks like they're pretty settled in at even 3. I doubt they move this one back down to 2.5. So real quick, let's talk about what we saw from the Dolphins last year. One of the first major moves after McDaniels hired as head coach, they added Tyreek Hill. A lot of people were skeptical about what they were trying to do, but look at the production difference here. Tua went from a bottom half of the league quarterback analytically to arguably a top 3 quarterback from 2021 to 2022, and the Dolphins' overall offensive production went from 24th to 7th in just 1 year. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle finished the season with a combined 194 catches, over 3,000 receiving yards, 15 touchdowns, and the two of them finished 3rd and 4th in yards above replacement amongst wide receivers. So everything looks great heading into this year, right? Well, no, not at all, actually. Despite starting the year 8-3, they actually finished 1-5 in their last 6 games, and their only win in that second chunk of the season came against the Jets when Joe Flacco was playing quarterback. And look at the significant drop-off in production from Tua after his head injury, and these numbers don't even include the 4 fumbles he had along with the interceptions. We're talking about a night and day difference here. Now, I know everyone wants to blame the drop-off in Tua's production on the injury, right? He came back too soon, he wasn't 100%. That's what everyone wants to blame it on, and maybe there's some truth to that. But we also saw teams defending the Dolphins extremely different later in the season. Press coverage. Mike McDaniel played his old pal Kyle Shanahan, and the 49ers pressed the shit out of the Dolphins receivers and added a little bit of delay to that RPO play action look that the Dolphins kept running, and it worked in a big way. 49ers beat them 33-17, and that was the beginning of the Dolphins' downfall. Want to know who Miami played the following week? The Chargers, and they followed the exact same script that Kyle Shanahan just laid out for them. Tua was a nightmare in that game, just going 10 of 28, 145 yards and a touchdown, 65.3 passer rating. They couldn't get anything going on the ground either. Raheem Mostert had just 11 carries for 37 yards rushing in that game. Miami only scored 17 points in that game, and 7 of them came on a ridiculous play where Tyreek Hill picked up a fumble recovery and ran around the edge and ran for like a 50-yard touchdown or something. It was a weird play. So really, the offense only put up about 10 legitimate points. It was a Chargers defensive showcase. Now, one thing to take note of, that Chargers defense that shut down the Dolphins last year, the defensive coordinator was Ronaldo Hill. He's now with Miami. He took a job as a passing game coordinator. So instead of trying to shut down the Dolphins pass game, he's on the opposite side of that. I'm not sure how much of a factor that is. I just thought it was worth mentioning. Now let's get back to the Chargers defense, because yeah, they did shut the Dolphins down last year, but by no means is everything sweet. LA's defense was a disappointment for the 2nd straight season under Brandon Staley. Now you may look at these ratings and think, well, Kyle, it's not that bad. But remember, last year they brought in a truckload of talent. They brought in J.C. Jackson, Khalil Mack, Bryce Callahan, Morgan Fox, Sebastian Joseph Day. Chargers brought in all those defensive pieces. They were looking to have an elite unit. So to finish just 16th overall and 29th against the run is definitely disappointing. But the question is, did the Chargers defense really underperform last year, or was it the injuries? Because they were wrecked with injuries on the defensive side of the ball. J.C. Jackson missed 12 games. Joey Bosa missed 12 games. Austin Johnson missed 9 games. I mean, how can we evaluate the Chargers defense using these numbers when these 3 guys missed the majority of the season? As far as this year's Chargers defense, yes, everyone is healthy, so that's a plus. But they did lose a couple pieces. Bryce Callahan's gone. Drew Tranquill's gone. And Drew Tranquill was good as hell last year. Definitely a tough loss there. They added Eric Kendricks to play linebacker from the Vikings. I mean, if it was 5 years ago, I'd be bummed. Not sure how much gas is left in the tank for that guy. He looked pretty slow last year. So the Chargers did take a couple hits defensively, but overall, they should definitely take a step forward just based on the players they have returning from injury. And we know this Chargers defense is capable of being good, even elite. It's just the inconsistency. We saw the Chargers hold the 49ers to just 3.7 yards per carry in Week 10. They shut down Tua, as you know, we already talked about it. And they held the Jacksonville Jaguars in the wildcard game scoreless for 29 minutes. Do I expect the Chargers defense to completely blank Miami like they did last year? No. But I am expecting a good performance. Keep in mind, J.C. Jackson didn't play in last year's game. He was one of the best press corners in the NFL back in 2021. Joey Bosa didn't play in that game either. And to make matters even worse, the Dolphins offense is most likely going to be without their best pass blocker, Terron Armstead. He got carted off the field a couple weeks back. Last year, Armstead missed 4 games for the Dolphins. We saw the pressure rate increase from 30.9% to 44.9%. It was an insane difference with this guy on and off the field. Armstead did not practice on Wednesday or Thursday, indicating that he probably won't be playing in this game. So take the Chargers-Dolphins game from last year. Add Joey Bosa and J.C. Jackson to the Chargers defense. Remove Terron Armstead from the Dolphins offensive line. Yeah, safe to say I like the Chargers defense in this matchup. On the other side, look, I don't care that the Chargers have a new offensive coordinator. It's Kellen Moore. I love his play design when it comes to building a pass attack. He's got Justin Herbert. He's got a ton of weapons. I think the Chargers might have the most explosive offense in the NFL this year. Kellen Moore was the OC in Dallas for 4 years. He had Dak Prescott for 2.5 of them. The rest was Andy Dalton and Cooper Rush. During that span, the Cowboys were second in total yards, second in total points, fourth in passing yards, including leading the NFL in points twice and total yards twice. I have no idea why the Cowboys fired this guy. And they open up at home against the Dolphins defense. Now, let's give them some credit. Miami's defense was actually solid against the run last year, but not only do they have a new DC in Vic Fangio, but they were getting lit the hell up through the air. 25th in pass defense DVOA, 27th in average opponent passer rating. On paper, the Chargers should hang a 60 piece on the Dolphins defense. Another concern for Miami's defense, this game's being played on the road in LA, and look at these home away splits from last year. So last year at home, the Dolphins were second in points per game allowed, second in yards per game allowed, top 10 in third down and red zone percentage. But on the road, they were one of the worst defenses in the NFL. These are extreme home away splits here. As you probably have already guessed, I'm on the Bolts here. I like the Chargers matchup on both sides of the ball, so I'm going to lay it. Give me LA -3, Bolt up. If you want the top bets, parlay of the day, if you want to join the Discord, or you want to join the NFL Against the Spread competition, head over to KyleKirms.com. All the information's right there on the homepage. NFL Week 1, first football Sunday of the year. Remember to bet responsibly. We got a long season ahead of us. Hit me up on Twitter if you need me.